Hello everybody, in this video we are taking apart to repair a Sony SRG-120 camera. This is a PTZ camera. A PTZ camera means pan, tilt and zoom. So the camera does panning, tilting and zooming. And this unit is SRG-120DU. That's the model number down below. What is the problem? The problem with this is that when it rotates, it doesn't know the end point, and it continuously basically forcing itself to continue rotating because it doesn't know where the end point is. Why that happens? That happens when the sensor goes bad. The sensor, usually they have optical sensor, sometimes they have mechanical sensor that shows the camera, or tells the camera that you have reached your end point and you cannot rotate anymore. This puppy doesn't have that. It's broken. Let's find out. Let's show you what the problem is and let's find out how to fix it. Okay? Alright. So this is the camera and I am going to turn it on. Let's plug this in. So there it is, going that way, going this way, turning all around, right? And it stops right there. It doesn't come back to the center. It keeps on going. This is the remote control. With the remote control, I should be able to go up, I should be able to go down, and I should also be able to twist it this way or this way. I can't twist it this way, but if I twist it this way, it reaches the end point and it senses it, right? There you go. But if I twist it the other way, it doesn't. So basically even the twisting doesn't work very good. Only the up and down works. The right and left twist rotation does not work. Okay? So now we are going to see what the problem is. Why this unit doesn't rotate. Let's take it apart. Obviously, the first thing, we unplug it. We do not want to keep it plugged in to the power when you're taking it apart. This is a very delicate equipment, so be very careful. We have to open 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black screws. Not these, we don't open those, just these black screws, 6 of them. Alright? We will take a electric screwdriver and start opening them. Make sure to leave the screwdriver clutch at the lowest, because these are extremely delicate and you don't want to strip the screws. Okay, now this panel should come right off, and there it is. It came right off. You can look at it from different angles, as you can see. Let's put these screws aside. You can look at it from this angle and the top angle. Okay. Now we have silver screws, 4 of them we need to remove, and we have to remove this ribbon cable and this one, both of these. Now with these cables, you have to be very careful. I'm going to zoom now. The ribbon cable, the white ribbon cable, it's relatively easier, because all you have to do is lift up the tab. This is the tab. You lift this tab up. Let me do it like that, and the cable is released. Simple as that. This one, however, has to be pushed out parallel. However, just for the sake of not making a mistake, I will put a couple of marks here. This way I know which way the cable goes when I'm ready to put it back together. the push has to be parallel. You cannot push it from one end because you damage the plug. So it has to be parallel push, pushing it out, and a parallel force. Now we will zoom out a little bit because we need to see the whole picture. These are the silver screws, 4 of them, that we need to take out. Okay, 4 silver screws. Let's do it. Not this one. We have no business with that. Just this circuit. Okay, this should come right out without a sweat. Okay, we leave this aside, and now we have 3 additional screws, this, and that one inside, that one that we need to open. Okay, 3 additional screws. Let's do it. That's 1. All these screws are the same size. Interior screws are the same size, and the exterior are the same size. Interior screws are silver, exterior are black. Now you have to lift it up very gently, and you have to not tilt it, like lift it up straight like that. Okay, so there it is. I see the sensor has fallen off. Let me remove this and show you what the sensor is. This is a phototransistor optical sensor, and the way the sensor works is that when an object comes in between these two, let me zoom in. There you go. When an object comes between these two, the focus is not good. 1 second, I apologize. Okay. When there's an object between these two, the phototransistor gets activated. One is basically light emitting LED, a light emitting diode. The other one is photoconductor, and it's when there's the light beam between these two bars, when it's cut off, it senses that the camera reached its endpoint. Now usually there are 2 of these photo transistors, and this one has fallen off. It's missing. There should be one more like right here. So I have one of those, and I'm going to mount it there. Let's see. So this is the photoconductor, which I ordered for this camera long ago because I was guessing that's what's wrong with the camera. So let's open this and see what it looks like. So there it is. It looks like that. It looks like C-shaped. You can call it a C-shaped, or you can call it 2 L-shapes. And let's solder it. There's our U-shape, C-shape, you name it, item, which we are going to solder right here. Right there. We're going to solder it, okay? Let's put this down and get our soldering iron up and running. And let me get the camera from the side, zoom in. Okay, so that's where we want this to be. We want it to be right there, just like that. Alright. Okay, now it's the moment of truth. Moment of truth means the moment that we need to start the surgery. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to make sure this is centered. And we put just a little bit solder, just a little tiny bit. Let's get this thing rolling. We don't have any solder in the tip of the thing. Okay, that's not quite aligned. They have to be aligned nearly perfectly. Okay, that is quite, I mean, pretty much aligned. Yeah, it's pretty much aligned, I believe. Okay, so now I'll put the second soldering point, and the other side is, I don't think the camera can focus on that one, but I'll try. Let's see, the camera is not able to focus because this is too bright and it's shining, reflecting, and it's causing the camera to go dark. So let's see what we can do. Maybe get it from a different angle, from the top angle. Let's see. Yeah, that should be good. So we are soldering 2 more points in here. Okay, it looks good. Okay, so this looks good. Both of them look like they are soldered firmly. I see a little bit of cold soldering here. Cold soldering is not good. Okay. By the way, this is where you change the belt in case the belt is broken. So, and the other belt is up here, right here. This is the second motor. There's another belt. There are 2 belts, vertical and horizontal movement. Okay. Now it's time to put it back together. Let me zoom out. Remove these pieces of plastic. And let's put it back together. To put it back together, we have to, again, align this right here. This, let me show you something very important. These little things are where those sensors will come in between the sensors. So basically the sensors will be sandwiching these little plastics tabs. So make sure that when you put it back in, these don't break the sensors. So that's very important, to be in a position where it doesn't break the sensor. Okay. So let's put it this way. Make sure the sensors are clear. Yeah, the sensors are clear. The sensors are clear, however, this thing is not very happy. Let's rotate it 180 degrees. and that's good, because you see these little notches must match, and it wasn't matching before. I had to rotate it 180 degrees, and now it's good. So what do we do now? We put the silver screws first. Let me lean it on the side so you can see better. Make sure your screwdriver is in the minimum clutch level, because it's gonna ruin those screws. It's gonna strip those screws. It's going to cause a disaster. Okay, now I'm gonna use a manual screwdriver just to see the tension. Make sure they're tight. They are. They're pretty tight. Okay. So what do we do next? We put this board next. This is the board that will go next. This board has 4 screws, and they are all silver screws. We can do a couple of rotation with a manual screwdriver and then tie it with an electrical one, because it's easier. If you do it with an electrical one, it will fall off. The tip of the screwdriver will slide out and hit electronics. So it's not a wise thing to do with the electrical one. The first few turns should be done with a manual screwdriver. Okay, now it's ready to face the electric screwdriver. Okay, all of these are tight. Now we will put this, make sure it goes in all the way. This black thingy flipped up. Zoom in, let me zoom in. The black thingy flipped up, push this all the way in, and flip this back down. On this one, you have to push parallel force from the center. There. Looks like it's in. This is the camera image, and this is the interface and all that settings. Okay, so let's put back, zoom in, zoom out. We put back this guy. This guy takes black screws we will do just a few turns. Just a few. Oops. See, it's important to have these magnetized. Okay, now we will use this. Zoom out, zoom out. Okay, now this should function correctly and it should realize when it reaches the end. Okay, let's find out. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Okay, it's going that way and very good. It's going this way and boom, stopped in the center, which it should do, which it didn't do before. So now I can go this direction, I can go this direction, I can go up, I can go down. Let me put this a little backward so you can see which button I'm pressing in the remote. Up, down, left, right. Actually this is right, this is left, but the camera shouldn't be facing me. The camera under normal circumstances will be this way. I will be standing behind the camera, so this will be my right, this will be my left, this will be my up, and this will be my down. So everything works fine, and the surgery was successful, and the camera works great. Alright, so the question is, where do you find that part? I'll leave a link to get that little part, the photo transistor. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe.